All right. Well, hello and welcome, everyone. Today, in this segment of this video series of How to Kill a Dragon, King of Avalon, we're going to be talking about prestige. So let's go ahead. Wait, no, we're talking about research. Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's talk. Let's delve right into this. So today is the Merlin's Trials Research Day. Um, Research is a great way to get some additional stats. It's primarily free, except for the fact that it's really ridiculously high resource costs. You can kind of offset this by buying a $100, $20, $5, however expensive the wisdom gems are. It'll give you some research cost benefits. So I'll just go in here, look at my construction gear, and you can kind of see what the different gems give you. Different gem types give you different resource requirement reductions. So like you'll see the square ones, which are usually your defense, that gives you food requirement bonuses, whereas your 5 stars give you wood. Not like anyone cares unless your name is Hem and you like to munch on all my wood. You'll have your attack gems. You only have 4 of them. Those will be your iron requirements. So that's a good, healthy.
What the hell we're talking about, but I don't understand why you have to call me out.
Hem, I'm calling you out because you took 300 million wood from me just so you could do some research. But let me get back to this video. Thank you for interrupting. So rude of you. And then you have your 6-star gems. You only have 2 of them, and that's your silver requirements. Again, it's going to be a much smaller benefit that you gain from it, but nonetheless, it's a benefit. Other ways to reduce your costs before you start doing some research is going to be in your hero council. I believe it's going to be your high steward, depending on who you have aligned. You have Sir Balin. If you give him some stars, if you give him a star, it'll give you research wood requirements. Not like anyone cares. Sir Ector gives you a nice healthy amount of research food requirements. And then if you put some stars into Iseult, the Fair, she'll give you research food requirements of minus 2 million at 3 stars. Beautiful amount, very expensive. So you can also get some speed reduction. So like if you have the gold set of like the kind of like Warmonger, but the like construction and resource gathering gear, you could go ahead and pull that up for everyone to see. It's gonna be your Bow of Fortune, this kind of gear. And then if you have the resonance bonus, it doesn't really help you with research, but troop training speed is awesome, so it will help you with research speed. So if you want to put your wisdom gems into that, that's a great idea. But now that all that is covered, you're going to need a lot of healthy amounts of resources and food. Food is something I don't have at this current moment, still healing quite a bit. So with research, at University 26, you unlock Combat 2. Combat 2 is a great new tool. It'll pretty much start you over back at square one with your research, as in your resource costs. Once you get further into Combat 2, it quickly gets very, very expensive resource-wise, time-wise, and pain and suffering-wise. So bear that in mind, but at the same time, it also does a really high percentage per upgrade. And then you have your regular combat track. So going into this, keep in mind, again, with all the stats that are important, only do the stats that are important. As you can see here, for some reason I maxed out everything like monster march speed, siege attack, infantry attack. These were the early days of Captain Cowboy. Captain Cowboy didn't always know what he was doing in life. He didn't know the way until Swag showed him the way, and Captain Cowboy thereon went to fix his mistakes in life. So, as you go down the line, you can see the different research, you can see the different benefits that you'll get from it. You'll see here I didn't fully max out infantry attack because that's when I realized infantry attack does not matter really that much. Why spend so much resources? Or none at all, I guess. Oops. On something that's not really important. Infantry health, infantry defense, cavalry attack, cavalry defense, cavalry health. This entire line of cavalry is important. Bowman, the only thing that's important is bowman attack. Siege, keep scrolling. So, getting further into the line, you'll see, wow, I actually started picking up the pace. I finally started realizing where to go in life. And you just want to keep going as much as you can. But once you get University 26, start comparing apples to oranges. Like, I'll go ahead and I'll show you what I can do from my current research standpoint to increase my stats and compare that to, say, going down the line with Combat 2. So I can do an Infantry Defense 4, level 6. Can do some of these level 4s for Cavalry, both really important. And Bowman Attack 4, that's really important. But I've got something more in mind that I want, and that's my March Capacity 4. I want to max this out. I also want to max out Infantry Attack. I also don't want to click anything and then back out because I see the huge cost and then think, wow, now I have to scroll all the way back here. But we're going to do it anyway. So, looking at this, it takes 1.1 million silver to do this upgrade, 14 million food, 20 million wood, and almost 6.5 million iron, and 8.5 days for 2,000 more troops. It gets very, very expensive to do research. Further down the line you go, the worse off you are. Over here, even uglier. 14 days, 2 million silver, 24 million food, 36 million wood, and almost 11 million iron. This is just dirty. And what are you gaining from this? You're getting 3% infantry health. So, if you're going for stronghold upgrades, like when I was going for my stronghold boost, I didn't even bother with research. I didn't bother with research until I was done with everything. And that's the biggest thing is if you can do, your equipment upgrades, your gem upgrades, focus your money on that. Don't buy resources. Resources you'll blow through quickly. You could spend like $200 worth of resources, maybe even $300 worth of resources, and only gain 2%. So spend that money elsewhere if you can. So that's just the moral of the story with research. Like, let's go back to cavalry attack. Okay, this is something a little more affordable. I still don't have the iron requirement or the food. But, I'm gaining 2% more. So, like, it's a lot. It really is. Slightly cheaper, but, it's not going to be this expensive for everyone until you get to this level. Yeah, just high resource costs. So, why do that when we can go into Combat 2? Well, let's take a look at Combat 2 and see what this has to offer. So, infantry attack. I'm just going to go into this because this is like the one that I haven't done because it doesn't matter to me. And let's see what it costs. So, with the wisdom gems, 9,000 iron. Almost less than 1 million food, not even 250,000 wood, and 50,000 iron. 5 hours for 7% stat bonus. So Combat 2 is a huge difference maker. Now you'll see I ran out of steam by the time I unlocked Combat 2 just because it gets really expensive really quickly. And we'll go into that. But Combat 2 is a great way to be able to get that extra oomph to be able to get your research trials done. Once I finished my research trials, I had enough food and enough speed ups, 3-hour speed ups from the trials. I went from, I think it was trial 6 to finishing research trials in one turn. I saved up all the food and all the speed ups from that, and I trained 80 million power in T10s. So if you're looking for a nice healthy upgrade in 30 minutes with your talent, this is the way to go. Obviously, don't neglect regular combat if it's a cheaper upgrade to do for the benefit. But looking at troop health, I'm gaining 4% troop health. That's an amazing amount of benefit for relatively cheap resource requirements. So thinking about this, if I had the food, yeah, I'd go for it. But I've been putting all my food to healing. I could spend No, why would I even want to do that? And then we could go look down the line. Sadly, you have to go all the way down each single line to be able to upgrade the next one. Like over here, you're getting 5,000 march capacity for, again, pretty cheap resource requirements relative to later Combat 1 researches. So this might not be relatively cheap for anyone else, but once you get to that point where you're at the 4s for Combat 1, it's quite worth it. So, we could scroll all the way down the line so you could get an idea of what it costs towards the end. But it looks like they're keeping it relatively cheap all the way through. I bet you it's going to get a lot more expensive later on. Then again, you also need University level 32 just to be able to unlock this. And you'll probably need University 35 in order to finish it all the way through. Lately, I've been seeing people be able to have an additional 150% stat bonuses in different sections from research alone. So, when you're at my level and you've got that +5 Death Seeker and you've got, well, say if I had Chivalry Gemstones now, because I guess that's the new up-and-coming thing, research would be that tiebreaker. You have Lord Talents. Lord Talents are another great way to get that research, that stat bonus. Heroes, Dragon. Your Dragon Spear could give you a couple points here and there. Your Prestige, it all plays a factor into getting that extra level. But when you get into research trials, I've only completed 99, just because I haven't gone far enough in Combat 2 lately. But if you're looking here, you're getting 300 3-hour speed-ups. That's 900 hours of speed-ups and almost 2,000 tokens for completing one level. And when I went from level 6 to Path 6 to Path 12, completing it in one time, I gained 4,000 3-hour speed-ups. 12,000 hours of speed-ups. That is insane. If you want to look at food, what you're going to be getting from food from this, keep in mind this is Trial Path 13, so it's not the same all the way through, but it's a good amount. This is, just doing the math here, 14 million food. One level. 14 million food. That's all the food you need to do another research. Now, keep in mind it might take more than just one upgrade to get that next path done, and then you're only getting speed ups in the next one, or in theory you would be. But research trials are great. Research is great. It's expensive. I put it off for a while, which is, in my opinion, a good idea if you're trying to go for that higher stronghold level. The stat bonuses that you gain from it are pretty low unless you're doing research in a high quantity, and that's expensive research-wise. So that's what I have to say on research. I hope everyone enjoyed this short segment. Thank you for watching.